Hi, it's Amelie. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to practice the exercise of Reichert's Opus 5 number 1. So this exercise is basically a scale and an arpeggio. It's very melodic. It's fun to work on. Like I'll just play it once, the major, like C major, the way the exercise goes. So it's like this. So that's the exercise. Usually with my students, I say when you learn it, start by tonguing every note. This way, like it's more clear. Each note is separate. You don't have, like little notes in between, or you don't try to go too fast. So you make sure you really learn it well. So I'll do it once slowly, all detached. Okay, so at first just learn the notes, take your time, then you can do it slurred the way I did in the first example. Then you can practice with some rhythms. So you can do one long, one short. Da 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 da. Long, short, long, short, long. Okay, and then the opposite, short, long. So da 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 da. But the way I prefer to practice this exercise is with little sprints. So I play a whole beat plus the first note of the next beat. So let's say the first beat plus the first note of the second beat. And then I start from the first note of the second beat, the note I finished on. I play it again, and then I do that whole beat plus the first note of the first beat of the next measure. So if I put my metronome, let's say at 100, I'll do some sprints like that. So because it's easier to go fast for a short period of time. So you do a sprint like that, then your brain has a little bit of time to think of what's coming up after. So here at the end, you have the arpeggio. And like obviously it's not a scale going. It's different, but that's why I like it. It's melodic, it's different, and you have the arpeggio in it. It's cool. So that's at 100. Obviously, don't start at 100. Build it up, start slower. And you don't even need a metronome in the beginning. You just go as fast as you can, maybe, and that's good. And then after that, you practice it to get it as high as 100 if you're able to, without stopping. Something like that. So that's for the major scale. When you practice the minor scales in that exercise, be careful because it's melodic minor, which means that the 6th and 7th degrees of the scale are raised by a semitone. And so only when you go up, when you go back down, they're not raised anymore. So a lot of students, when they learn those scales, in the first measure of all the minor scales, you have the 7th degree, like let's say in A minor, it's G. The G is sharp. Then you have another G in that same measure. And a lot of students forget to keep it sharp for the whole measure. So when you do the first measure of the minor scales, make sure that if you have an accidental, you don't forget to keep it for the whole measure because it's a very, very common mistake. So I'll play it once slowly so you can hear. Okay, so that's an A minor, which is the relative minor of C major. He always writes it like that, C major, A minor, and then he goes one flat, F major, D minor, and so on and so on. And then does the sharps the same way, always the two relatives together. So here, you see it's that G sharp. If you forget it, it's going to sound like this. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for... So that's it. I'll play it one more time so that you can hear. And like you can practice it the same way, playing the major or the minor with the rhythms, with the sprints, slowly, fast, detached, slurred. The more different ways you can find, the better. So. So that's it. I really like those scales. They're beautiful. Like I said before, they're melodic, and it's fun to, switch it around sometimes. Take your time when you learn those scales, because those exercises are good for your whole life. You can start learning them in high school and throughout your whole college student life as a flutist or professional. You'll still work on them. I still work on them. And so you don't have to learn them all at once. Pick one or two, practice them for a little while, then change. Don't wait until they're perfect to go to the next ones, because set a realistic goal of, let's say, a certain speed, and then move on, and then you go back to them. It's a process, it's not, learning is not a on-off switch, it's a process, and so you have to be patient with yourself. If you want to find the music, there's a link down below. I hope you liked the video and that it was helpful. If you liked the video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and go and check out our website, musigi.com, for our methods, some music, and recordings. Thanks for watching.